Good times, man.
Brian was living in a drug-induced haze. With no manager, Brian couldn't get a decent job anywhere. He made box office tragedy after box office tragedy, and eventually no one wanted him for any movies. Brian was forced to take a job on a new sitcom on TV.
Charles in charge of our day and our night.
That was a complete waste. The movie people blackballed me. I was just forced to do whatever work I could. Take it a second.
Yeah. He was a mess. He had to get high to do anything. To get up in the morning, it was a bottle of Jack and 10 or 12 lines of Coke. I mean, his breakfast was whatever pills were in the medicine cabinet.
So, I hopped a plane for Cleveland. That's where my parents were supposed to meet me. Flew in, 3 weeks later, I sobered up in Detroit. I was wasted. I found myself naked, under a box in an alley. I had no idea what was going on. So that's one thing for sure, is I knew I had hit rock bottom. Next thing I know, I was in a Detroit hospital.
After weeks in the hospital, Brian was finally well enough to be released, at which time he was immediately checked into the Betty Ford Clinic. It was there where he met his guardian angel.
When I first heard that Brian had checked into the clinic, I immediately asked to be his personal nurse. I was a really big fan of his, and as I watched him every day, sitting there, begging for cigarettes, pleading for a sandwich bag full of model glue, I just fell in love with him.
Debbie was like an angel. I could have never got through that place without her. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I'd still be out in the street using, or maybe even worse, I might be dead. What can I say? I mean, look at her, she's a piece of ass.
It seemed that Debbie was the best thing that could happen to Brian, and for the first time he realized it. 3 weeks after he checked out of the Betty Ford Clinic, they were married.
Love is only true in fairy tales, and for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me. That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace. Put doubt in my mind.
Rumor got around fast that Brian was off drugs, clean and sober. Andrew D. Turning made a call to Brian as soon as he heard.
As soon as I heard Brian was clean, I had to call him up and see if it was true. Man, it was like seeing an old high school buddy at a 10-year reunion.
It was no time that the duo was back on the movie set, and Brian, his best work ever.
I don't know, we've been talking about doing a movie called Less Than Zero. The producers said it would be perfect for the part.
And the way I figured is the harder I work, the easier it is to put my past behind me, huh?
Work better not be the only thing you concentrate on.
Oh, she's got you there, big man, huh?
You got that right there, dog.